Yo, we back. Smash that like button. The real is back. I really needed this trick. My first love just broke up with me. Thank you, ego. Sorry to hear about that, man. It's been a rough week for a lot of people. You know, with the Nipsey Hussle shooting and death, you going through it. We're going to talk about it. Oh, fuck. Come on in. We're about to talk about it. A lot going on, man. Hope everyone's being safe out there. The Stream King has returned. Shit has been crazy. I came here from Sudan. We had a war. And bro, I was done with life. She saved me. Now she dipped. LOL. Hey, I felt bad until you said the LOL, bro. He said now she dipped. LOL. Man. Yeah, you gotta. It's hard, but you know, you gotta find other things that motivate you. Maybe I feel like it would. If it's bound, it's gonna come back around. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's meant to be. Shout out to Maya. She already know this Bay Area shit. How this Bay Area hustle go. We working. Smash the like button. We gotta talk about this. Hey, no, guys, hey, Golovkin. No. We gotta talk about it. We gonna talk about this shit. Never trust no hoe. Damn, you sound angry. JJ, what up? He said Triple G ducking everyone. Well, this is not his fault per se, but I don't know. Hey, Daznt, Matt, you gotta do something, baby. My ex left me for a lesbian. I got so jealous, I dropped a roach egg in her new home. Hey, y'all wildin', bro. I don't know what the hell. This ain't Dateline. Y'all tripping with these relationship stories, bro, and roaches and all that. I don't know about all that. I don't know you beat. I don't know you lost to. Eat man 888. He said Triple G versus Vonis 2 on Dazn. Y'all laughing at the roach egg still. Y'all wildin' in this street. Why y'all wildin' like that? You know, rest in peace, Nipsey Hussle, the real one. Let's talk about it. I ain't got time to waste. I gotta go to Best Buy and get some new gadgets for the channel, man. I told you. Anytime something bad happens, we about to try to find a way to give back and level up, you know, improve. Life is short. Remember that. Do everything you want to do and do it now. Don't hesitate. Don't second guess yourself. Do it. Do it. So, old media not talking about sushi. Who's sushi? That gin sushi or like food sushi? But listen, let's talk about them. ESPN is reporting that Brandon Adams, their sources say that Brandon Adams is going to fight Jermall Charlo in Houston. Count me in. Shout out to H-Town. I know Texas be holding it down. Texas been putting on some big events. Errol Spence in Dallas with, you know, Arlington, whatever, with Mikey Garcia. And then we knew Jermall Charlo coming off a tough fight with Matt Korobov. I told you the rumor was he was going to fight in Houston. Al Haymon is playing chess, my friends. Because the rumor was that Triple G was going to fight Brandon Adams before I heard anything about Jermall Charlo. But Al Haymon, well, I don't know. I can't confirm this. But I heard about Triple G potentially fighting Brandon Adams before I heard about Charlo fighting Brandon Adams. But then the reports came out that they both had received, and Brandon Adams confirmed, I think to the Boxing Voice, confirmed that he got offers from both, and he was just weighing out and waning his choices and to see what was the best move. Hey, he said Al did that to Triple G because he didn't sign the PBC. All's fair in love and war. 48 laws of power. Crush your enemies totally. So, he signed with the ops. So, chess, not checkers. Business must go on. So, Dazn, we do know Dazn and PBC both wanted the Brandon Adams fight. And according to ESPN now, they're saying Brandon Adams is fighting Charlo in Houston in June. This hurts Dazn because now it's more pressure. If this is 100% true, again, it's coming from ESPN. They usually, from what I've seen, ESPN, they don't just put out a bunch of, no matter what you think about the writers or whatever, they don't like put out stuff without having talked to someone, And actually, a lot of times, if you know this boxing media, sometimes people will, like, because this even happened to me, where people fed me information and allowed me to like kind of break the story before anybody else. So, I know a lot of the people, especially like Deadline Media and people who do print work, that have been doing it for a while. Sometimes they get the call to break the story, That's how the media works. So I know about a lot of fight, not a lot, but I've heard about and like been made aware about a lot of things. I guess you could say a lot at this point before they were announced to the public, but some of them I can't tell. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know about this shit, but it's, I'll be minding my business. If it comes around, it comes around. I don't have to like, do Dick Tracy like and be like hounding people and bay and kissing ass to try to get in good to get some information and kissing up to me. I don't have to do all that, bro. So anyway, ESPN's reporting that Charlo got the fight. And I told you it was in my last video, or my video where I talked about it, I said it was a bidding war for Brandon Adams. I actually like Charlo versus Brandon Adams more than I like Triple G versus Brandon Adams. And there's a reason why. You got to look at it. See, people, I told you, people want to be like new media. Like, whether you guys understand it, if you agree with it, whatever. But I'm telling you, people literally want to be like new media because they try to come up with talking points like new media. You get what I'm saying? But the thing is, I'm not perfect, but when I say something, when I'm talking about new media, this new media shit, and the reason I bring up stuff and the reason I say stuff is from a completely different reason than old media. Like my bottom line is me. I've been in the game. I respect the game. My shit is well thought out. My shit, like, so if I have a talking point or whatever you want to call it, if I have a talking point, there's a reason why I'm talking that, this is what I feel, but there's a reason I feel like that. Not everyone does that. Some people, their talking points are based on emotion or radical views, because they're racist or, they have really inherent biases. You get what I'm saying? So again, I'm not saying I'm perfect or, anything like that, but there's a reason. So you have old media who wants to be like us and they want to come up with like these talking points, but they're talking points because maybe the lack of respect for the game, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about or whatever, they fall short. They're like straw man arguments and talking points. I try not to give y'all that. I try to give y'all that real. So let's break it down. Reason why I like Jamal Charlo versus the same guy, Brandon Adams, more than I liked the idea of Gennady Golovkin versus Brandon Adams. There's a few reasons, really. One, I told you, we're searching for equality in boxing, referring to like double standards. Like you hold Errol Spence and Crawford and Wilder to these crazy standards, and then Tyson Fury's fighting Tom Sawyer, Look at Duke. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, when you get so good, you reach a certain pinnacle level, the fans say it for you. That's why I don't have to clout chase. I don't have to be all in the video. Like, I don't have to conduct interviews with fighters and be next to them with the mic. I don't have to do that. I can if I want, but I don't have to do that because motherfuckers know who I am and what I said. But look, Duke says, he says, young bro, everything that you give a prediction on has been very accurate. See? Let the people, told you I'm the people's champ. The people who listen to my channel, you know what it is. You know what I said and what I didn't say. So if I come up short, then the world gets to see that. If I get it dead on or accurate, like I have with certain things, then the world sees that too. But anyway, let's talk about Jermall Charlo. The reason why the reason why I think Charlo versus Brandon Adams is a good fight, or a better fight than seeing Triple G, is, again, we're fighting for equality with some of the double standards and dumb shit. Like, the way you view boxing is not the way you look at one fighter that you like and view that under a certain scope or rose-colored set of lenses, and then somebody that we know you don't like, you know, you treat them totally different. That's the type of equality we're looking for. But all things are not made equal. See, that's different, because the equality that we're looking for is like more so equal rights. But in terms of skills and attributes and resumes, those types of things, all things are not created equal. You know, you could have guy A and guy B, their skill sets aren't equal. So when I'm giving predictions, I'm not going to act like those things are equal, because resume, if this guy's resume is shitting on this guy's resume, that's just what it is. I'm not going to be like, oh, they have equal resume, when they don't. But your ethnicity, your race, your creed, your gender, you know, what you're doing for your sport, your career, those things should be equal. It don't matter if you're from Mexico. It doesn't matter if you're from Africa. It doesn't matter if you're from the U.S. It doesn't matter if you're from the East Coast. It doesn't matter if you're from the West Coast. It doesn't matter if you're a woman like Clarissa Shields. It doesn't matter if you're a man. Those are the things that we try to keep equal. But old media, they want to be like us, so they try to keep things equal. People start comparing apples and oranges. Sometimes apples and squirt guns and shit that don't even go together. What Mayweather has accomplished is not the same as what Gennady Golovkin has accomplished. So therefore, why would I talk in regards to both of those fighters as if they've accomplished the same things, when that isn't the case? Mayweather at age 37 was fighting a youthful, undefeated, bigger fighter in Canelo. I was born ready, Alvarez. Golovkin at 37, you know, I don't know who he's going to fight, but at 36, you know, so the same group of years, he just fought Vanes Martirosyan. You know what I'm saying? So we're talking about different things. Floyd fought Cotto, Robert the Ghost Guerrero, right? Canelo, Maidana, Pacquiao, Berto, Conor McGregor. You know what I'm saying? That's his last 8 fights. Look at Triple G's last 8 fights. So again, those things aren't equal. You're not fighting Cottos and Canelos and where they were at their time. So I'm not going to treat those things and have the same formula. In regards to Charlo, he is a new middleweight. That's one thing. He is age 28, I believe. Brandon Adams is age 28. They were both black fighters, and some of you guys won't understand when I'm referring that, why I'm even bringing that up. But historically speaking, from what I've seen, at least as a fan, sometimes when you have two people of the same race or ethnicity, there's like an inherent like competition, you know, like where you see two black guys fighting each other, they're in competition with each other. Not saying they're not trying if they're fighting someone else, but you know, we've seen the same like with top Mexican fighters. Sometimes there's like little grudges and things like that. Like Marco Antonio Barrera and Eric Morales. There was a beef there. There was a grudge there. Oscar De La Hoya and Fernando Vargas. You know what I'm saying? You've seen that grudge. You've seen that beef there. And it's like that. You know, sometimes if you got two people from the same, you know, similar ethnicities and stuff like that, those fights can sometimes be wars. Not always, you know, but sometimes. But anyway, Charlo's 28. Golovkin's almost 10 years older than him. Golovkin is 37. Golovkin is a silver medalist. Charlo is not a silver medalist. Golovkin has been fighting at middleweight since the amateurs. Jermall Charlo has 3-4 fights or whatever he has at middleweight. So these are the actual parameters. So seeing Charlo, who's actually called out Canelo, He's actually said he'll fight Andrade. He's actually called out Triple G. Those fights didn't manifest. Then I'm good with him fighting Brandon Adams. Plus, it's going to be a hometown fight. So I know in terms of event-wise, it's finna be lit to see a Houston fighter fight at home. When I don't even remember the last time Charlo got a hometown fight. So I think event-wise, it becomes bigger than, let's say, Triple G versus Brandon Adams in New York or something, or Vegas or some shit. So I have different reasons why the Charlo fight is better. Like I said, close to age, one, not a silver medal. Plus, Charlo just came off a tough fight with Matt Korobov, you know? So there's different reasons. This hurts Golovkin. This hurts Dazn. Because Dazn, like, to my understanding, what they're trying to accomplish, I don't know. They're talking about basically making Triple G versus Canelo. So you see everybody else is kind of playing their position. Canelo's taking a huge fight, you know, with Daniel Jacobs. That's a dangerous fight for both guys, both ways, no matter how you slice it. That's a good fight. So if Dazn has his new deal with Golovkin and his first fight, you can't even get Brandon Adams, who you going to get? You know? Because the other guy that they talked about him maybe fighting, the Camille guy from Polish, he has no identity and presence in America, and he had 4 knockouts. I mean, like, really, who really wants to see a silver medalist? Plus, what I was telling you guys, like I always say, Death Row East, believe in it. New media. Old media, they end up shooting themselves in the foot because they come up with these talking points and they try to make them stick, and they try so hard to compete with new media and not necessarily being from a realistic perspective or being factual. And someone says Rosado rematch. Okay, so Mad Selesky is about to fight Andrade. Mad Selesky just beat Rosado. Rosado has lost a couple of times since he fought Triple G. Triple G already holds a win. Who wants to see that? Rosado, he just lost to Selesky. He showed heart. He, you know, got knocked down, I think, twice, and then he knocked down Selesky. But the end result was, throughout the fight, he still lost. So who wants to see a Gabe Rosado Triple G rematch? You know, I don't think that. Okay, even if they do fight, what does that do for Dazn? Dazn just right. That's what I'm saying. You guys have to look at it. Dazn inflated and increased their price by 100% per month if you do the monthly rate. I don't care about the annual fee because a lot of people don't have the confidence to necessarily, unless you had the service and you liked it and it, you know, it was working out for you. But a lot of people don't have the confidence to prepay like that. Well, some people don't have the funds where they feel comfortable paying $100 up front, not knowing what they're getting. So not everyone's in that position. So I'm going to focus on the inflated monthly rate. Dazn came in the game saying $9.99 a month. Pay-per-view was dead. Look at us. We're only $9.99. You get 100 fights, 100 nights. That becomes more justifiable the cheaper the price is. You know, oh, okay, I'm getting all this value for this. The more you raise the price, you know, the harder it becomes to justify if you're not getting what you wanted out of it. Like, you know, people would accept Andrade versus Artur Akov or Ted Cheeseman fights that they didn't really care for if they only had to pay $9.99. But if you tax them and you hit them over the head and double that price times 2, you know, hit it a 2x multiplier, you know, increase the price by 100%, and now becomes something different. Because, okay, for $9.99, I would have settled for Andrade just to see him fight versus this guy or Ted Cheeseman or, you know, David Price getting bit in the stomach by the Saint Lunatic guy or whatever, Cash Ali, Murphy Ali, or whatever the dude's name is, Murphy Lee. I don't know, you know. But I ain't for $20 a month. I ain't trying to see motherfuckers get bit in the stomach. That's just me. I don't know about how y'all get y'all ends, but I don't want to see that. You know, fights that end in disqualification. You know, motherfucker gave him a tummy tuck. I don't want to see that, bro. I'm a boxing fan. I don't want to see, you know, liposuction or whatever the fuck he was doing, biting motherfuckers. What? Now Triple G, again, they said he was about to fight Brandon Adams. Now ESPN is reporting that Brandon Adams is going the PBC route. Now he's going the PBC route. So once again, this becomes a problem for Team Triple G. It becomes a problem for Dazn in terms of what middleweights can Triple G fight that boosts and bolsters his career, that makes sense, that make for big events, that justify Dazn paying Triple G X amount of dollars per fight. You know, they said he got a equity and he got a good fight, or like a good contract. He has Triple G promotion fighters fighting on the contract. Even though I don't know any guys signed to Triple G promotions outside of Triple G, you know, they raised the price on Dazn by $20 a month. Who is he going to fight? Canelo's fighting Jacobs. That's simply not going to happen. You know, they're not going to cancel Canelo Jacobs to make Canelo Triple G unless something happened, you know, God forbid, you know, like an injury or some shit. But that's already a scheduled fight. The timetables don't work for Triple G. Supposed to be coming back this summer. Meanwhile, okay, once again, you guys, like, I'm telling you, man, we weeding out the dumb shit. You guys got to keep up. Like on my channel, like you guys had to put comments that make sense. This guy's talking about fight Charlo when the whole context and pretense of this video is Charlo's fighting Brandon Adams. That doesn't even make sense, bro. Doesn't make sense. You talking about fight Charlo. Yeah, we've been trying to get that fight. Fans have been wanting to see that, but it doesn't make sense in the video where I'm telling you that ESPN is reporting Charlo's next opponent. You talking about fight Charlo. You gotta learn to keep up. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Someone said Sergio Mora. He's a commentator now. Daniel Jacobs beat him twice. Like, again, by stoppage. Who wants to see that? So, I feel like this puts Triple G, his team, him, his career, and Dazn in a pickle because the guy that you can at least justify. I wasn't even really super hyped because, again, I think Triple G as a silver medalist, a guy who's claiming he beat Canelo and got robbed twice. You know, why are you taking a Brandon Adams if that's the case? If you beat Canelo, why I want to see you fight? See, Charlo never fought Canelo. He never fought Triple G. So he's not running around saying, hey, yo, I beat Canelo twice. You get what I'm saying? So for a guy who's saying he beat Canelo, why do I want to see you fight a Brandon Adams if you just beat Canelo twice? So once again, old media, what they say, it comes back to haunt them because they keep saying, oh, Triple G beat Canelo, he was robbed. 45 people in press row had Triple G winning. Okay, so that's the bar you set. That's the expectation you set. Why would I want to see him fight Brandon Adams, you know, a guy from the Contender Show, former 154-pounder? When Triple G is a silver medalist, he's older than Charlo, older than Ed Adams, and he's claiming he beat Canelo twice. Meanwhile, Charlo and Brandon Adams are both 28. Charlo's not a silver medalist. Charlo's coming off a tough fight, and he admitted that Korobov was crafty in game, unlike Triple G, who's saying he beat Canelo twice and was robbed. These are different situations. Charlo, you know, at least had the wherewithal to say, hey, I beat Korobov, but he was tough. Motherfucker was tough. You know, Willie Monroe wouldn't have stood for that. But this guy, he's experienced, he's a vet, he did what he had to do, but I beat him. You know, so at least Charlo, once again, is keeping it real with his level of opposition and telling you that he was in a tough fight that he feels he won. Triple G, he's saying that he was robbed twice. So we're talking about two different things, you know, from age to their take on their last fights. Charlo's at least telling you he was in there with the crafty veteran. My hat's off to him. Korobov came to fight and he was tough. I beat him though. Triple G's not telling us that. Triple G is saying that, you know, I was robbed and hey, no guys, robbery. That's what he's saying, you know. Plus he's 37, almost 10 years older than Charlo. So we're talking about different things, right? So I know old media, what they try to do is try to go tit for tat. I bring up these points. They try to counter it with some other shit, but that's not accurate. It's not accurate because the situations aren't accurate, you know. Billy Joe Saunders is already fighting She-Fat, and he just did a deal. His promoter just did a U.S. distribution deal with ESPN Plus. I don't really see Billy Joe Saunders being likely since he's taking the fight at 168. See, you guys got to keep up, bro. I don't know. It's like you might as well just hit the subscribe button, because we've talked about all this stuff. You guys are just loosely throwing out whatever you want to throw out, but the logistics don't really make sense for that. So, I don't like to repeat myself more than I have to. So you guys might as well just hit the subscribe button, because some of you guys are clearly out of the loop as to what's going on. Saunders, anything can happen in boxing, cool. But we're not going to just keep using anything can happen in boxing when probability of things happening aren't likely. Yeah, you could walk down the street, go to check your mail, and get struck by lightning. But what's the probability of that happening? Billy Joe Saunders has his own fight. His promoter just did a U.S. distribution deal with ESPN Plus. Triple G is not with ESPN Plus. In fact, they said they didn't want to deal with him. He was hard to deal with. Triple G didn't elect PBC, so he's not fighting Charlo, when the rumor is from ESPN that Charlo and Adams have agreed to a fight. So let's stick to more realistic things happening. Canelo's not going to pull out to fight Triple G of the Jacobs fight. Why would Jacobs pull out, voluntarily to fight Triple G when they both got belt? These things don't make sense. So let's look at more realistic things, the new media way, that could probably happen. You guys keep throwing out random names like Gabe Rosado. Okay, who wants to see Gabe Rosado? He just came off of a loss, and Triple G already holds a win over him when he allegedly had the flu. Who's going to, even if they do fight, how is that going to be a main event? So DAZN's main event is HBO Boxing's main event from several years ago, before Gabe Rosado lost certain other fights. That doesn't make sense. So this is what we're talking about. Now we're honing down to the actual factuals and getting down to it. That's why I said it's a conundrum for DAZN and Triple G. If this Brandon Adams fighting Charlo is 100%, the truth, as ESPN is reporting it, then that's really a hit to DAZN. Because again, they inflated their prices by 100% per month. And Triple G, who is he going to fight? Once again, like I told you, new media. I told you. And you don't have to worry about Brandon Adams. Andrade is a DAZN fighter. We know this. Triple G just signed with DAZN. We know this. That should have been the directive. That should have been the priority. But old media, they wanted to keep Triple G warm and keep him hot. Hopefully, Canelo wins in their mind. And then they can go ahead and say, hey, Canelo, Triple G 3 on DAZN. You no longer have to pay pay-per-view for that. But you can't manifest and predict boxing like that. So it's better to just do what's right by the populace, do what's right by the public, and and do it big. Once again, Canelo's playing his part fighting Jacobs. Jacobs is playing his part. I think Andrade is playing his part. Even though he's not fighting, he's not getting the fight, I do think he would fight whoever. He's already called out Triple G when Canelo failed a drug test. He said, I'll step in and fight him, short notice or not. So Triple G, in my opinion, he has to play his part. Otherwise, it's a hindrance to DAZN. And you look at it, who's Triple G? Who's left for Triple G to fight? That makes sense, that the fans would pay $20 a month for, and pay this inflated price. Because if you put Triple G in there with somebody that nobody wants to see, then how's that going to up your subscription rate? You put Triple G in there with somebody that doesn't really create a big event, then he's the odd man out. And then how does that, let's say he gets past Vonis Martirosyan 2 or whatever, it doesn't really do anything for Canelo versus Triple G 3. See, Canelo's doing his fucking thing. He's the face of boxing right now. He's the man. If he beats Jacobs, that boosts that gives him clout tokens. That's what I like to call him. That gives him clout tokens. He's the man, because I think Jacobs is a top level fighter. I think Jacobs beat Triple G. So if Canelo can beat him fair and square, that shows me something. And then that shows me where to put Canelo. But if Triple G beats the last airbender, nobody gives a fuck about that. I told you guys this shit. Who wants to see Triple G versus the last airbender? Raise your hand. I told you, everything comes through America. It's over. Everything comes through new media. Yeah, man. Nobody's trying to see that. Triple G versus Mad Max Beyond Thunder. Don't like who wants to see that's. It doesn't help. And see, this is what I'm saying. DAZN's in their unique position because they came in doing things their own way, and they have something to prove. ESPN don't got nothing to prove. Like, I'm not even trying to be funny right now. I'm just on some new media. I'm hurt at the Nipsey Hussle loss. I don't have time for it. I don't have time. I'm just giving it to you raw. Eddie Murphy raw. I'm just telling you what it is. ESPN Plus, I'm not saying I want this to happen. ESPN Plus, they can cancel boxing. They still a channel. They still relevant. They don't have to do boxing. That's what I'm saying. This is the difference. This is different. ESPN, though, they didn't have good boxing on for years. When they were doing the best boxing at ESPN a couple years ago, the best boxing that they had on the network was like classic fights, Friday night fights, or classic Friday night classic, or whatever the shit was called. So ESPN has showed you they've been able to coexist. Same thing with Fox. Fox sometimes gets the Super Bowl and NFL and, they got Empire and all these other shows. I don't watch TV like that, so I don't know exactly what shows are on. Gotham or whatever the fuck. They got shows and other shit. So Fox, they don't have to do boxing. They don't have to if they didn't want to. Same thing with Showtime. They don't have to do boxing. HBO just got out of the boxing business because they have Game of Thrones. Because they have like insecurity, whatever the shit is called. DAZN is reliant on being a sports streaming app with Bellator and boxing. That in America, that's the namesake. Those are the sports that put you on. Yeah, the Masked Singer and all this shit. That's what I'm saying. These other channels don't even have to do boxing. That's the difference. DAZN is like their come up is converting customers for life in boxing and MMA Bellator right now in America. That's their claim. I don't know what they show in Japan. I don't know what they show in Canada. I'm talking about as far as breaking through to American audiences, because whatever's popping in Japan, that's different. There's different culture. You go to different places. They like 2-in-1 cup and all this shit. Americans we don't want to see all that shit. What the fuck? So different rules, different I seen people in like Brazil and Mexico and stuff, and the police will take someone behind a car and destroy them, beat them with a knife. There's different rules and different things that happen, bro. So once again, back to this Triple G. If Brandon Adams sitting up here was who DAZN was banking on, Al Haymon just pulled the rug from underneath them, and that's the ultimate chess move. He stole your opponent. That's like how Tupac, I love the East Coast, but, I'm not trying to judge up no East Coast, West Coast beef. I love Biggie too. But that's like Tupac saying, so I fucked your bitch, you fat. But like he came in the game like, yo, I took faith from you. Block real boxing. That was easy. Hey, shooters, get rid of that. You can use my government name. What's that? How's that hurt me? I don't care. Look it up. What's my government? My name is on my website. What the fuck does that do to me? I told you they want to stop the movement. That shit don't work. That shit don't work, people. That shit don't work. They always try to defect. Like I said, you pay for it. Have VADA. They could follow me. We could do a vlog series. I don't give a fuck about no drug tests. I pass any. I don't even smoke weed, so I ain't worried about that. Once again, this is what they do. They just make up shit. See, the shit I'm saying is true. See, that's why nobody cares about old media anymore. They're just making up shit. I'm not making up shit. I'm telling you, ESPN reported this. Here's my thoughts. Here are the complications for DAZN. Woo, woo, woo. They come in and just try to defame my character and stuff. I mean, we'll see how many people believe that. Anywho, back to the subject at hand. We're not letting them distract what we doing. We too united. What is DAZN gonna do? Who are they gonna push Triple G in there with? Like, even if you put Andrade in with someone different, Triple G versus Zaleski, he just got knocked down twice by Andrade. He already lost to Jacobs. See, old media, this is the stuff that they say. Like remember Abel Sanchez, keep this in mind. People shoot themselves in their own foot. See, you notice they never do this to me. They never take my actual words, actual quotes, actual shit I say, and then use it against me, because I'm very responsible with my words. I'm not out here saying crazy shit, right? Make sure you guys smash the like button. That's why they can't do this to me. You know, they can't take my words and use it, what I said verbatim, and attack me with my own shit, because I respect everyone. I'm respectful, and I'm not out here saying outlandish things. But let's look at it. Abel Sanchez, he just did an interview. It could be found on the internet. He said Canelo versus Jacobs is a fight for the losers bracket. That's what he said. That's what he said. He said Canelo versus Jacobs. So, because Triple G fought those guys, he beat Jacobs on paper. He claims he beat Canelo twice. Abel came out and said that. He said Canelo Jacobs is a fight for the losers bracket because Triple G beat all them guys. So, how is it that, unless you guys could think of somebody else, some wild card, it's looking like Triple G is going to have a weaker opponent than any of the other people? You know? Unless you guys can think of somebody. So how does that make sense? Old media, you guys got some explaining to do. So Canelo Jacob is an anticipated fight, but you're saying it's a fight for the losers bracket. Okay. So who's Triple G going to fight? Who's he going to fight out the winners bracket? Look, if he fights Derevchenko's coming off a loss to Daniel Jacobs, who you say is in the losers bracket. Now, me personally, I don't think the Derevchenko is the worst fight. But again, how could you have made that comment and Derevchenko's coming off a loss to Jacobs, who's in the losers bracket? Then now you made the Derevchenko fight. Matt Korobov just lost. That's not a horrible fight for Triple G, but he just lost to Jamal Charlo. So if you're talking about losers bracket, you can't fight Korobov. You can't fight Derevchenko, because even though those are potentially tough fights, if Canelo and Jacobs just beat Derevchenko to get a title, so he won. Canelo just destroyed Rocky Fielding and previously beat Golovkin. So if that's what you call the losers bracket, then who is Triple G going to fight? Korobov and Derevchenko are coming off actual losses. So, old media, please explain it. If Canelo Jacobs, guys who are coming off physical wins, Jacobs has won every fight since Triple G, and they were all undefeated. Fact. Luis Cuba Arias, Mad Selesky, Derevchenko, and I thought he beat Triple G, but they didn't give it to him, whatever. But he at least won 3 undefeated fights in a row. The third was for the vacant title because Triple G didn't want to fight that guy, Derevchenko, and he opted to fight Vanes Martirosyan and then pursue the Canelo fight, so he got stripped from the IBF. So if Jacobs is a loser bracket, then who is Triple G going to fight? Canelo beat Triple G in the second fight. Then he moved up to 168, set history for a Mexican fighter, moved up 8 pounds, and, destroyed a guy who had a version of a belt, Rocky Fielding. And then now he's coming to fight Jacob. So if these guys are the losers bracket, who's Triple G going to fight? That's what I need to know. It's simple. Even if he fights Selesky already lost to Jacobs, and he got knocked down by Gabe Rosado. But he already has a loss to, so that's why you have to be mindful of what you say. Abel Sanchez talking about like losers bracket. All right, bet. So let's see. Triple G's not fighting Charlo, somebody who's in the winners bracket, undefeated. Glenn Tapia already got beat by Lemieux, and he got beat by Rosado by stoppage. Who wants to see Triple G versus Tapia? So that's what I'm saying. I told you old media is a thing of the past, and I'm going to keep showing you guys that. Because you can't just come in the game no more saying utter nonsense and then expecting it to hold up, because we're going to show you the difference. You can't badmouth Canelo Jacobs, which is a great fight and a great fight for boxing. And then if Triple G fights Camille Melik or, Malachi from Children of the Corn or whoever the fuck the guy's name is, that's the winner's circle. A guy that nobody knows in America. Same thing with Tyson Fury. Oh, Wilder's a bum shit dosser. But Wilder's fighting is mandatory, something he has to do. He wanted to fight you. The WBC said his team was down to fight you and your team wasn't. Now you're fighting Tom Schwartz. You know, like I said, all this stuff is coming to a head and the people see it. The people see it. The people see it. So, you know, that's why you have to judge responsibly, conduct your interviews intelligently, and actually say stuff that makes sense, you know? Or, I mean, an option would be, is Triple G going to move up and fight someone at 168? Is he going to fight at a catchweight? Maybe that's an option. Just so you guys know, here's the ESPN, because I always cite my sources. That's the ESPN update where they said that Brandon Adams has chosen to go with the Charlo fight instead of Triple G. Again, this puts, if this turns true, this is an immense pressure on Dazn. Again, they have raised their price point. So you have to justify 20. And you now see people, this is what people are trying to switch. This is what people are trying to switch. And they're trying to say, oh, it's still $100 for a Canelo pay-per-view. You know, you're still getting 2 Canelo fight. I don't know who Canelo's going to fight beyond Jacobs. So that's not good. And the bottom line is Dazn. That's why I said it's too soon to have raised their prices to me, because we don't even know what we're getting. They haven't even been out in America for a year of continued like great fights in history, like HBO, Showtime, blah, 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 to the point where we know what we're getting. Now people are trying to justify, oh, but you're still getting Canelo and Joshua. Yeah, but we were supposed to get that for the $9.99 price point, which would have been cheaper. Now it's $19.99 for the same fights that we already knew about. So, you know, it's going to be real interesting to see what Dazn does. Again, the best way that Dazn can fix this and bring spotlight from my perspective to Triple G's next fight, to make it a fight that the fans care about, is to make the Andrade fight. Andrade is a Dazn fighter. He's in-house. You know, I'm sure money-wise that could be, they throwing around money to Klitschko, and Klitschko's retired. See, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. I don't know, certain things are rumors, but they said, that's what I'm saying. I don't understand who's pulling the strings at Dazn. They saying that Klitschko got offered, you know, whatever, 80 million, 40 million, whatever, for a comeback. This dude has been out of the sport and coming off of 2 back-to-back losses, Tyson Fury and a knockout loss to Anthony Joshua. So he's been on the sideline. He looks like he's still in shape. He's still a legend. But if he comes back for 60 million or whatever, but then how can't you get Andrade, who's already there? He doesn't have to mull anything over. He's already with there. How can't you manifest Triple G? This is how they disrespect American fighters. You're going to give Triple G, coming off of a loss, you know, where I thought he clearly lost to Canelo, and then he just took time off, and he's claiming he won. You're going to give him an easy out and give him all this money. Then you have Klitschko, who's coming off 2 losses. He looked horrible versus Tyson Fury. Then he got knocked out in a good competitive fight with Anthony Joshua. You're going to offer him this much money. But then Andre got to fight a guy, Mad Selesky, who doesn't really boost his profile. We know Andre has already beaten guys, you know, a Selesky type of tax bracket in terms of their fanfare and name. So how can these companies come up? That's why I said, new media, we the new drip, this is the new wave. Everything goes through us because there's strength in numbers. We the consumer. So how is it that you could offer 50, 60, $1,000 million to just to get Klitschko to come out, or just to get Triple G on your network, but then these American undefeated skill fighters, you know, or whatnot, you got them fighting Selesky instead of pulling the trigger and getting the Andre Triple G thing done, which I and a lot of boxing fans that I've talked to and that I've seen would get behind. You know, that's the way to rectify it. So we'll see. We'll see if Dazn pulls the trigger. You got a ready-made fight right there, and then you got your own baby Super 6 tournament, Super 4 tournament, the best of the best minus Charlo, you know. So that's, the fans would at least put up for that, you know. Canelo's fighting Jacobs, great fight. Triple G versus Andre, great fight. The winners meet after that. Now you have an undisputed middleweight fight. Robert Navarro, they tried to offer Wilder $100 million and he turned it down. Of course he turned it down, because this is a pay-per-view fight with Joshua, and they wouldn't tell how much Joshua was making. So once again, you're not going to outsmart me. That has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Who cares? Wilder knows his worth. He's a knockout artist with charisma, and he's a heavyweight. Pay him like a heavyweight. Give the man a joint, you know, pay-per-view, and get the damn thing done. Who cares about Wilder 100? And from the looks of it, it looks like Wilder made the right decision holding off. You know, at best, the money's not going anywhere. Dazn still has some things that they got to answer. That's just what it is, bro. Dazn they got, like, even Fox just got into this boxing game. Let's look at, please do this. I'm ready for all smoke. I'm ready. Let's compare Fox this year versus Dazn this year. Everything from today's April Fools with the jokes on y'all motherfuckers, because I'm ready. So from January 1st to April 1st, you know, that's a clean bill of health, a clean slate. January 1st to April 1st, let's look at Fox and what shows they put on, and then we'll look at Dazn and what shows they put on, and you tell me what was the stronger shows for boxing. What fights did you get behind more or want to see? Let's do it. I'm ready. So please, old media, who's going to be the sacrificial lamb? Because I know you ain't getting me in this. Tony Urban says there's no competition. That's what I'm saying. That's why they all sit here in silence. They ain't got nothing to say. They know what I'm talking about. They know what I'm saying is true. But I want them. I want someone to try to see. I'm not saying, see, they get mad at me. I'm not saying this because it's personal for me. I'm just telling you what I see. That's all I know. I'm not making up Dazn's schedule. I'm not giving Fox credit for fights they haven't put on. I'm telling you what I see. So if you see something different, then we need to know what you see. Give us your vision, you know, because maybe I'm Stevie Wonder and I don't see it like you. So you explain it to us. Linares versus Kano? No, I wasn't feeling that. Linares just recently lost to Lomachenko and he got stopped by a guy who's not really even relevant since Paulie Malignaggi, Shane Mosley fights. And he got stopped in one round. So, no. That didn't do it for me. What else? Bro, we want answer. What Dazn cards? Let's go bar for bar. I'll name individual fights. You name individual fights. And then you tell me which were bigger events and bigger fights. So even Fox is in a different boat because, one, I told you, Fox does not need to do boxing. This is just something extracurricular. They're trying to get some shares and some money and, you know, build up by capturing the boxing market. They don't have to cover boxing. So this is a benefit to all of us. Plus, the big difference is Fox is something you can get with basic cable versus now $20 a month formerly, or if you're previously enrolled, $10 a month. So $10 to $20 a month, depending on if and when you signed up. So we talk about two different things. Fox put on Caleb Plant, Jose Uzcategui, which was a good fight. I was there in LA, right? They put on Keith Thurman, Jose Cito Lopez, unexpected good fight. Their pay-per-view, it was a pay-per-view, but they had Errol Spence, Mikey Garcia, and David Benavidez versus Jay Leon. That showed me some stuff. David Benavidez was coming off a long layoff, you know, and he stopped Jay Leon Love quick. You know what I'm saying? I was there, right? I got to see F.A. Ajagba move up in competition and stop Amir Mansour, how he, you know what I'm saying? So from a boxing fan, I got to see some different things. You know, we already got Leo Santa Cruz. And, man, come on, bro. Danny Garcia, Adrian Granado, this is all on free. So that's what I'm saying. Dazn, they're going to have all this money they're throwing around for fighters. What about the matches? Who is Triple G going to fight now? If Brandon Adams did sign on the dotted line for Charlo, then especially since it's a hometown fight, you know the Charlos have Houston lit. You know that. So it's going to be a bigger event and a bigger fight. Okay, he's fighting the contender guy, and he's fighting in Houston where, you know, down south really got the torch, like in a lot of ways, like music and, you know, there's a lot of energy, good energy in down south right now. So who's Golovkin going to fight that creates a big event? That creates a big event that makes you go out of your way to sign up for Dazn. Like if you don't already have it, this is the pickle that Dazn is in. If you feel something else, that's fine, but I don't understand. So you have to help us understand, enlighten us. That's all we want. That's why I said the best option would be Triple G versus Andre. I fully support that fight. I love it. I would give it exposure. That's a great fight. And it creates a tournament for undisputed scenario, all on Dazn. But if Dazn lost out on the Brandon Adams contender war, then that hurts him, because Golovkin, in my opinion, he already had some questionable fights with HBO. You know? And he's been like kind of clout chasing Canelo, badmouthing Canelo. So I can't wait to see how this all unfolds and who they put him in there with. Who is that guy? I don't even remember his name. Camille. Who is that guy? What was his name? What is that guy's name? The Camille guy. I literally don't even remember his name. Who is the Camille guy's name? Please, somebody remind me. Nobody knows? Like I was trying to pull up his record, but again, I don't even know his. Someone tell me his name, how to spell it, because I was trying to pull it up to see exactly who he fought last, and I can't even remember his full name to look it up. All right, I'm putting you in the hot seat. I promise you. Trey Johnson, he says Dazn does have this going for them over in the UK. They love that shit over there. Okay, you should have waved the white flag. Dazn is not available in. It's not available in the UK. So what are you talking about? So let me know. See, that's what I'm saying. Everybody comes. If they come in at new media, then we gonna do our fact checker. So how do they have the UK going for them, and Sky Sports does all of Matchroom's fights? So you just explain that to all of us and enlighten us. See, y'all make up stuff like when Canelo went to Dazn, y'all talking about, oh, Eddie Hearn, he did it again. He's the best promoter. You guys just make up your own reality. I'm not doing that. See, why can't I do that? Why can't I just be on here and be like, you know, this is this, I'm out, you know, and then just make up shit. I got to be held to a standard, so now we holding y'all to a standard. So Trey Johnson, since you keep putting comment after comment, and now all of a sudden it's quiet, let me know how Dazn got it going on in the UK when Dazn is not eligible or available in the UK and Sky Sports is distributing their shows. First off, partner, I be here to hear you talk. Don't generalize me. Okay, first of all, partner, strike one. Answer the question. Nobody care about none of that other stuff. Just answer the question. That's cool. Okay, we won't generalize you. Cool. Now answer the question, please. Hold on, let me turn the music down. Okay. All right, partner. Answer the question. So, how do they have it going on in the UK, as you said, when Dazn is not available in the UK? And please don't get distracted. They got cricket on there. I figured they would have it over there. Who the fuck watched that wit over here? All right. Did he beat me in the hot seat? You guys should either just wave the white flag or just put what you know or what you could back up. If he beat me in the hot seat, then that's cool. But if he didn't, put your L's up so we can move on with the show. Bro, you mayoing, it seemed like I'm arguing. If he beat me, let me know. And if he didn't, put your L's up, bro. Nah, bro, you should have just waved the white flag. Just say, oh, my bad, you right. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's too late now. It don't matter if you're arguing. We arguing. Pensacola, we talk tonight. Bro, I told you, I'm not having nobody come to my channel. If you don't know what you're talking about, and you just tattooing up my graffitiing up my you putting the most comments, bro. I don't want to beat you. If he beat, listen, can y'all vote? Trey Johnson, did he beat me in a hot seat? Bro, you should have just said, oh, my bad, you right, or whatever. Wait, I'm a fan, making me feel like he dissing the bro. Can the fans please vote? Did he beat me in the hot seat? Bro, it's not about dissing me. I don't care if someone's dissing me. It's about coming into my chat and saying a bunch of falsehoods. That's what it's about. I don't care if you're dissing me. It's about you saying stuff and you're not versed on the situation. You're just making up stuff as you go. Bro, wave the white flag. I'll give you the opportunity. If you say anything other than I wave the white flag, mate, or uncle, you're getting blocked. So I'll give you an option because you're not dissing me. Do you want to wave the white flag? Do you have a solid point or you want to keep this up? Trey Johnson. So I'm giving him a way out because the fans told me to. The fans run the channel. So I get it. You're not dissing me. Maybe you were misinformed. What is your decision? You could put the white flag emoji. You could say uncle. You could say I wave the white flag. You could say mate. Or we could do it the other way. So let me know. You have 10 seconds just to let me know what you want to do so I can move forth with this conversation with Eagles Army. 8 seconds. He said, I came at the perfect time. Y'all can block me. I'll just go to Daznt. All right. See, I told you that pride. I told you. All right. See, that pride gets you. I told you. Hey, see, I don't want to hear it. Oh, ego is the bad guy. I gave it, bro. If either what you said was a lie or true, or you could explain it or you can't. I gave you it. You go to whoever said, you go to Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. Doesn't make no difference to me what you do. He said, you can block me. Hey, people's champ. Whatever you want, that's what you got. See, listen, bro, Eagles Army, some of y'all getting soft out there. Because I wasn't even going to give him the option. I was just going to do the regular vote. And y'all was like, oh, just put him in timeout. See, this is why we don't show mercy. This is why you can't. Hesitation to get you killed. Like, this is why we don't do it. This is why I don't even like showing it. Either you're with us or against us type shit. Because every time we try to show mercy and like, you know, hey, okay, you were just misinformed. Cool. You didn't mean no harm by it. Blah, blah, blah. This is what happened. That pride's a motherfucker. I'm trying to tell you. You know? Eagles Army, oh, just put him in timeout. And then you he gave him he just didn't want, just because he didn't want to you don't want to put a white flag emoji. That's all you have to do. A white flag. Like, how's that really hurting you? You would be let back in the chat after 5 minutes. Cool. Boom. Move on with your life. And then, maybe you'll think when you put comments that you don't know nothing about what you're talking about. And this is what they do. Show them timeout. All right. Hey, you want to do a timeout? All you have to do is this, this, and this. And then he's still talking crazy. So this is why we don't do it. That's why we just have pretty much set rules. It is what it is. Cause y'all, and then I'm the bad guy. Oh, he's so rude. Whatever. Anyway, back to this. Triple G, I don't know who he's gonna fight. You guys let me know a big fight he could fight that's realistic without pulling fighters from other networks, which is not logical, and without people who are tied up. Who could Triple G fight at middleweight if the ESPN report is 100% true and Brandon Adams is fighting Charlo? Who can he fight that makes sense at middleweight or 168 if you think that there's a possibility that is with Dazn or has a working relationship with Dazn? We've seen big main events with that promoter and Dazn. So I wouldn't really say PBC or ESPN known fighters because we haven't really seen no big fights made with them. Caleb Smith, that's solid. But I heard about Caleb Smith fighting on another card recently. Hold on. I'm trying to think of who. So I don't think the logistics work. Oh, yeah, they're putting him on Joshua Miller card. That's what it was. So it's not going to happen. Yeah, I'm looking at Liverpool Echo. I'm on it right now. See, bro, I told you, new media. Notice how I'm not going to block someone for that because that was actually a good guess. But just to inform you, there's a UK media, and they're not the only ones. The link is in the description. Liverpool Echo. And it says Caleb Smith to feature on AJ's Madison Square Garden card. So if he's fighting in June, how's he going to fight the same month on a Triple G card? It's not possible. Ted Cheeseman lost. So who else? Keep guessing. Bevo fights at 75, but he said he'll come down to 68 for Canelo, so maybe. However, I mean, is Triple G going to go fight Bevo at 68? No, Caleb Smith is on Matchroom, but it doesn't matter because I've already ruled out that as unless they pull him from the Anthony Joshua Miller card. So who else? Sergey Derevyanchenko. That's not bad. Maybe it could be done. Actually, I don't know. See, this Eddie Hearn kind of made a mistake by going at Al Haymon the way he did. Derevyanchenko, now that I think about it, he's a Lou DiBella fighter who's in cahoots with Al Haymon, like works with Al Haymon. So everything had like shit like that all has to go through kind of Al Haymon's channel. Like Tom Brown, Lou DiBella, Richard Schaefer, they're all in cahoots and work with Premier Boxing Champs. So if they want that fight to happen, or like how Lou DiBella has Tevin Farmer and Tevin Farmer's on DAZN, so it's doable. But Al Haymon could really, really strong arm people and reach out and hate if he wants to and say Lou DiBella, man, don't let Derevyanchenko fight on DAZN. Make them come up with someone else. That's why it don't make sense to go at people like that unless you're strong enough, especially coming out. You know what I'm saying? Because Derevyanchenko is a DiBella fighter. Billy Joe Saunders is fighting She-Fat. Listen, I got to go to Best Buy. I'm about to get out of here because this is just a waste of my time. You guys are just guessing random stuff. You guys are just really guessing random things. Billy Joe. See, this is what's wrong with the internet. Everybody wants to be right to the point where they just want to guess random stuff. Like, no thought put into it. They're just guessing. Yeah, he's fighting a guy named She-Fat. Yes. And now I don't even know if that's on ESPN. I don't know if that fight is even for a belt because I don't think the fight Gilberto. It's actually for an interim title. That's what it is. He's fighting Shifat Isufu. So Billy Joe's, that's what I'm saying. You guys are just guessing random people. Willie Monroe, he already beat him, and he failed a drug test. There's the Shifat news. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, that's why I see. The reason why I'm being so stern is because I thought of all of this. I've already thought of all this. I've already thought of the. See, I don't see this. I'm not always right. I'm not perfect. I'm not ever claiming to be something I'm not. But what I'm saying is I am thorough. I do have a work ethic. I am well versed. This is what I do full time. So what I'm saying to you is when I'm posing these questions, a lot of them are almost rhetorical questions because I've already been down that path. I've already thought about the different options. I didn't just hit record and start freestyling this whole video. I mean, I'm not reading a teleprompter, but at the same time, I put thought into this. So people keep guessing. You guys are doing random guesses. Trying to be right, trying to say something. But you could, if you guys follow boxing like I follow boxing, or if you follow my channel when I've delivered all this information to you, or a lot of it, then you would know the logistics of some of this stuff happening. You could eliminate your own guess that you just wildly threw out there. Period. Billy Joe Saunders is fighting at 168 for an interim title against Shifat Isuzu, or whatever his name. That's that. Caleb Smith is already reported from multiple sources to be on Joshua versus Miller, Madison Square Garden, New York card. You know, why would Caleb Smith, you know, that's a good exposure fight. It's a good card, whatever. Contracts are probably signed. So that doesn't make sense. People, Charlo, the ESPN, what they're saying is Charlo's fighting Brandon Adams, Contender Season 5 winner. Brandon Adams chose Charlo. So that would be two other people at middleweight that would have made sense that aren't eligible, right? That's what I'm saying. Go down the list. Let's go down the list of credible middleweights that you want to see Triple G fight that would build up a Canelo Triple G3 fight without randomly just guessing, without like interfering with known obstacles or known political geography in the landscape of boxing, like pulling ESPN Plus fighters to fight on the main event without being mandatory or anything. And then let's go through the middleweights to see which of those fights seem likely and probable to happen. That's what I'm asking. And once again, nobody's answering credible big event fights that Triple G can fight. Canelo's fighting Jacobs. So that two people Triple G already fought that are tied up. So I'm going to ask one more last time. And if you guys just keep wasting my time, then I'm just going to go to Best Buy like I have to and finish my errands for the day. Take guesses. And if you know the current landscape of boxing, please guess and let me know who you think, or recommend good fights that build up the zone, that help justify $20 a month, that make for big events for Triple G to fight. I said Andrade is a ready-made fight. That's probably the biggest that I could think of. There isn't anybody Triple G. See, my thing is not a random guess because I haven't heard anything about Andrade and Mad Selesky actually being signed, and the fight hasn't happened. So, you know, there is a chance that that could still happen. These other people have fight dates or on different networks or already tied up, and it's just not likely that those things would happen for Triple G, you know, his next fight. There isn't anybody. Triple G will fight some dude from Thailand or something, some way out country. They're going to change his ranking from 499 to top 7. Oh, wow, you're going in. And old media will try to sell us some dream. Wow. Again, now he said Nicholas said it's ugly. See, that's what I'm saying. The stuff I've already thought about. So these are really almost rhetorical questions because I already know what I'm talking about. I already know what it's going to be, right? if this thing A happens, then I can almost predict. This is why my channel still is relevant, still is growing. The information is still accurate. Now, I still have to hear Brandon Adams. This is a sources thing from ESPN. We still have to wait for Charlo and Adams to be officially announced by Premier Boxing Champions. But ESPN is already reporting it, and others. So what I'm saying, if that is 100% true, which I haven't done any research, but ESPN is usually good with, they have good sources and stuff like that. So if they're saying that's the route Brandon Adams is going, then I'm giving you my thought process of like, wow, who is Triple G going to fight that builds anticipation for a Canelo trilogy fight that makes sense, that, that are fights that are easy to facilitate, etc. Andrade is probably the biggest fight and the easiest fight to make. That makes the sense, that would appease the fans, that would be for a title, and that would be for a meaningful fight of merit that fans could get behind. They wouldn't have a problem paying for, or it'd be more justified paying $20 a month, etc. So if there's another fight and another fighter out there, then please take an educated guess based on the realities of boxing. Go. That's what I want to hear. Not just Billy Joe Saunders. People, it's like, you ever watch an episode of Family Feud and they'll be like, name, out of 100 people surveyed, name something you bring to, and then they hitting the thing. You didn't even hear the full question. You don't even know the full question. You already hitting the buzzer trying to be first. This is what's wrong with the internet. Everyone trying to be first. Who cares about being first? Be accurate. Be the one on point who guessed it right. Not just be first. Who cares if I be first with a bunch of news and reports and they're all wrong? Like, I was the first one to tell y'all that bullshit, though. Like, you know what I'm saying? So don't be first just to throw something out. I'm really trying to talk boxing. I'm really trying to think of credible names and, look at the current landscape of middleweight division with everything considered. Who could he really fight? This is why, more often than not, I get it accurate, because I put all of the ingredients on the counter so I know what I'm working with. Some of y'all just making shit and pulling soy sauce and Worcestershire sauce and cumin and paprika. You just pulling shit. You don't even know what you're doing, bro. You trying to cook and just pulling, rainbow sprinkles out. Like, what? This is a steak. What you pulling all that for? You're pulling nutmeg and shit. That shit don't even complement steak. See, with new media, we season the meat, but we don't overdo it. We season the meat, but we know what we need. Get that fresh lemon. Okay, we need a little bit of salt, a dash of salt. We need a little bit of pepper. Y'all be making recipes, y'all don't even know what the fuck you making, because you just start pulling shit, experimenting. This ain't no experiment. Some of y'all from the projects, but this ain't no experiment. Oh my God. I said some of y'all from the project, but this ain't no experiment. Bars. Let's get it. And then now another thing that fucks him up, the Black Channel, now Charlo fighting Brandon Adams. Dazn wanted to make that fight for Triple G. So I don't want to hear a bunch of shit about, why is Jermall Charlo fighting Brandon Adams? Because we now know that Brandon Adams, right, was wanted for Triple G. So now that he's fighting Charlo, if that ESPN report is true, I don't want to hear why. How you going to badmouth Charlo for fighting Brandon Adams, but it was acceptable if Triple G was about to fight him? Even though Charlo is coming off a tough fight, even though he's only 28, even though he's not a former champion in that division with a real certified belt. Like, Triple G had all the belts except for the WBO until he got stripped for not fighting Derenchenko, etc. Old media is looking sketch. It's looking real grim, because you guys have to, all the stuff you support and what you said, like when Abel said Canelo versus Jacobs, which happens to be a great fight, one of my favorite fights this year that I know about, when he said that was for the losers bracket, now the pressure's on. to see who Triple G fights. Because if Canelo Jacobs, which is a great fight, meaningful fight, a unification, two great names, great middleweights, guys that arguably beat Triple G, if that fights for the loser bracket, I can't wait to see who Triple G fighting next. Especially if Brandon Adams goes to fight Charlo. And now you can't criticize, the interim champion or the guy coming up who just got to the division, unlike Golovkin, who's 37 this year, who's a silver medalist who's been fighting at middleweight. How you going to criticize Charlo for fighting a hometown fight against the contender winner? But Dazn wanted the same guy for Triple G. Spike O'Sullivan, who wants to watch that? He just got knocked out by David Lemieux in his last fight, if I'm not mistaken. I never seen him come back. So last time I heard of him, he got knocked out by David Lemieux on Canelo Golovkin card. Who wants to see Spike O'Sullivan versus Triple G? What does that do for him? Toriano Johnson. Or what is that? Derevchenko knocked out him too. Curtis Stevens, a guy Triple G beat, knocked out Toriano Johnson. What does that do? And I think he just lost again. David Lemieux, they're already talking about him fighting on the... You guys are lost, bro. Oh, my... Yeah, once again, y'all can't fuck with me. Y'all can't fade me, bro. David Lemieux was just in the hospital because he couldn't make 160 on the Canelo fielding card. They had to pull him off so he could get better. He said he's leaving 160. Beyond that, he's supposed to be fighting John Ryder for some version of a belt or something on the Canelo Jacobs card. So I don't think that's a logical person. Just look at it. Just look at he killed him. He's been struggling to make 160, which culminated in his inability to make it to the point where he got taken off the whole card. At least before Lemieux would miss weight, the fight might get canceled or might go through. His whole fight got canceled and he got put in the hospital, right? That's a fact. That's a reality. But beyond that, they said he's supposed to fight John Ryder or whoever he's supposed to fight John Ryder on the Canelo card. So, and on top of that, Triple G already beat Lemieux. Who wants to watch that again? Chavez Jr. All right, good luck with that. Canelo. So Abel, we're just going through what old media says and what you guys support. Abel said that Canelo Jacobs is for the losers bracket. We haven't seen Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. since he got robbed in the hotel by Thoughts, and he got beat down by Canelo that same night. But Canelo Jacobs is for the loser bracket. How does that make sense? Canelo Jacobs is a great fight, but it's for the loser bracket, according to Abel. So why would you fight an Al Haymon fighter, who we haven't seen since the Canelo loss? Doesn't really sound logical. Who knows what weight, Triple G, Chavez could barely make 164.5. He could barely make 164.5. That's why, see, again, some of you guys like boxing. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. Some of y'all like boxing, but y'all don't know boxing. That's why you'll come to my shit and be like, oh, Ego, you're stupid. You don't know what you're talking about. But I clearly know a little bit of something about something, because the stuff you guys are just guessing don't really make sense. How is Chavez Jr. another Al Haymon fighter? So this is why you probably don't want to disrespect someone with the vast stable like Eddie Hearns did. So you still have to go to Al Haymon to get Chavez Jr. But beyond that, he barely made 164.5. He didn't look that, he didn't look crazy ready at the Canelo weigh-in. And then now he's taking a year off. If you've seen recent pictures, I did videos about that. Like, do you guys watch my videos? I mean, because the views are there, the money's there, so I feel like somebody's watching them. But you guys just say whatever. Chavez Jr. He look 193 right now. He look hella big, like not even in a bad way. But what are we talking about 160 for, bro? He ain't fought that since Sergio Martinez, and he's been out of nowhere. So how's he gonna fight Chavez Jr., bro? Chavez Jr., again, this is what I'm saying. I really feel like you guys like boxing, some of you, but you don't really follow it like that. But then that's cool, because of different levels, different sports. People might not like boxing as much as me or whatever. That's cool. But then y'all got the audacity to come at me and tell me I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, In addition to that, Chavez Jr. just did an interview talking about I'm gonna retire if I lose my next fight. Who wants to see Triple G versus Chavez Jr. with all of that in mind at 160? Come on, man. Falco, yeah, good luck with that. I heard of the name, but I haven't really, I heard about Andre possibly fighting him and different people. What does that do for Dazn? Did that help him out? Is that a big fight? You know? Is that a big fight for him? I don't know. So, I don't know why you guys keep saying Floyd versus Arrow, bro. Who's reporting that? Y'all just make up shit because Floyd posting workout videos. Mayweather channel. Bro, I've learned too, like, I don't know what y'all talking about. But I learned to not hear unless I hear from Floyd.
What's your prediction for the fight?
Oh my God. Hold on. So, man, I'm out. I gotta go to Best Buy. So I'm on it right now. It says breaking: Floyd Mayweather to take on Errol Spence. Predictions from the Mayweather. I turn on the video, and it's a picture of Mr. T, and it's April Fools. Like, you guys can't be serious, bro. Like, if that, okay, so just because Floyd's posting a bunch of workout videos, like, I literally clicked on this shit and it's Mr. T. Why, if he's really fighting him, why would this? Come on, bro.
What's your prediction for the fight? Prediction?
You guys, yeah, bro. Rest in peace, Nipsey Hussle. I'm out of here, bro. You guys really think Floyd, who never, when he was more active, he didn't fight Errol Spence and he gave Errol Spence his props, is coming out of Attention Nasukawa fight on April Fools, and then the only person that's reciting this is the Mayweather Boxing channel on April Fools, right? And then when you click on the video, it's fucking Mr. T, and you want me to believe this? Yeah, I pity the fool. I heard Floyd, he finna fight Spence. Maybe I didn't. Like, I'm out, bro. I can't deal with this. Rest in peace to Nipsey Hussle. My respects to his family and condolences. Shout out to Crenshaw. Shout out to the Shaw. I can't take it. I really can't. Like, this is really, between y'all guessing who the fuck Triple G, Spacely Sprocket, Fred Flintstone, y'all guessing that shit, and then y'all telling me, because it's not one person, this is multiple people. Oh, Floyd's fighting Spence. Y'all will really believe anything. So, I'm about to meet up with Santa Claus. I'll holla.